Good evening, everybody. Of course, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. Welcome to the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, Season 3, Episode 43. Biden in Ukraine, Trump in Ohio, battle rapping cops, and Molasses News 0.0, I guess, for whatever reason. I don't know why that's in there, but that's what happens when I'm setting up the show sometimes. This weird stuff gets in there. Anyways, we got a lot to get into, much like, the topic suggests. So let's get to the show. Oh, I didn't hit it.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, welcome to the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, Season 3, everybody. Blenda, welcome. Len, welcome. Sean was down there early in the comments saying bravery without forethought causes a man to fight blindly and desperately like a mad bull. Such an opponent must not be encountered with brute force, but may be lured into an ambush and slain. Sean always dropping them deep quotes before the show. Thank you, Sean. We love you. Blenda, Len, thank you guys for being here. Without further ado, we got a lot of topics to get into tonight. Some fun stuff, some cool announcements, and another talk from our sponsor. But without further ado, welcoming to the spotlight stage my friend, my boy, my comrade, a man who will be there with me Friday night at the Marquee Theater. Please welcome to the spotlight stage, Mr. G.W. Foley.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat and a 6'4" Impala. Yeah. What is up, motherfuckers? It is Wednesday night. Come on, buddy. There we go.
Like the Cliff Notes version. I liked it.
8:03. We got the alert on YouTube. So the Cliff Notes version wasn't that bad.
Well, I think you fused like the last line in the first
probably
line, the last line in the verse.
Probably. It's been years since I've heard that song. I was thinking about going, I love it when they call me Big Papa. Maybe I'll save that one for another time. It's vacation break for me. I'm on break from school right now, even though I've been doing schoolwork nonstop. Happy birthday, Blenda's son.
Yes.
I was going to make a Jewish joke of like, he's soon to be a man.
I was thinking lucky year 13.
Lucky 13. The hormones. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what you're going to go through.
Yep.
The crusty socks. The
weird noises. Yeah.
The smell. The boy smell.
Oh, boy smell.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm sorry. You're, man.
This one's for you.
Yeah. There's a reason why I don't deal with kids, or teens. Yep. Congratulations. That's it. I always look at it this way when one of my brother's kids have a birthday, and I just look at them and being like, you haven't done anything wrong yet. Like, the kid still seems normal. Like, congratulations. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, my kid would be fucked up. I know that. Like, I'm a fucked up dude. Like, dude, look at I'm a fucking stand-up comic who's going back to school, to study film. Like, I make horrible life decisions. I play bass in a metal band. Certain people shouldn't have children, and I'm in that list. I just I don't know, man. And like I see all these kids nowadays, and I'm just like, oh, bro, just love this. Just love this moment. It sucks right now. I know, because I'm going through it. Like I know this sucks, but it gets a lot worse. You know, like wait till you're 40 and shit's not right. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, he has a mullet. God bless you. God
which
bless
type? Is it spiky on top? Or is it
yeah.
slightly longer?
Is it
Inquiring minds must
curly
know.
mullet? Like have some body to it?
Or is it like a classic Joe Dirt?
Yeah. So many questions.
I remember having I don't think I ever had a mullet. I had a bowl cut. That was my mom's thing. She liked the bowl cut.
I had a bowl cut. I thought it was cool. Yeah, the 90s was weird.
Yeah, strange times.
Yeah, fucking 90s. Anyways, okay, we got some stuff coming in. Yeah.
Joe Dirt, strawberry blonde. Nice.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
See, I'm jealous now.
Yeah. I tried growing long hair and like it doesn't look good on me.
Can't do it.
Yeah, like this is I'm thin. I'm very thin. So it just looks like stringy and gross. I've tried. Hickory has seen it. Hickory has seen my long hair and it looks fucking gross. No matter what, like I wash it.
I hate to say it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
It looks better short.
Yeah.
But I think about that about most dudes. There's very few guys with long hair that I'm like, yeah, that guy's got it.
Yeah.
So he's like, you should shave that shit. Yeah, I guess women too from that point, for the most part.
Anyways, that's it for me. It's been like 8 fucking minutes, so.
Okay.
Let's turn it over to the real reason why we gather. Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming.
I just wait to make you say that.
I almost forgot.
Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. There was a comment I wanted to get to before I get into anything. Len said, my good friend is raising her 12 and 15-year-old grandsons. She had them since almost birth. She's 66 years old. Man, I don't think I could handle teenagers anymore. No, that's going to be rough too, because as growing up that long ago, that her teenage experience was so wildly different than a modern teenager's experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like when that lady was like in her teens, there was no internet access. Like that didn't come along until my late teens was regular. Like, so yeah, that's got to be absolutely crazy. Cell phones didn't exist.
Yeah.
Kids used to like go out and play with their friends and come home just based on the honor system. And now it's like, if they don't have a phone on them, there's like a crisis. Mind-boggling how times have changed in that short 66 years. Well, I guess minus 12. So 54-year spread from when she was the age of the youngest one. Yeah, that's a long...
yeah.
We've gone through a lot of social development in the past 54 years. That being said, I'm going to perform a very short little card trick because next week I'm going to do something fun and set the table up. And because the table's here now. So I could do that. I was lazy earlier. I've been working on a lot of stuff. We'll get to that. There's some announcements I'll get into later. But first, I'm going to have J-Dubs pick a card, and I'm going to do a couple phases of this old classic card routine I was thinking about earlier. So let me switch to...
Stop.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a King O clubs, and we're gonna have uh, beautiful assistant said, clean the office. Well, I'm sorry. But I said, I'm almost 46, mine are 13, almost 15. Times have changed. Yeah, just in that short span, let alone add another 20 years to it. That's craziness. So we're going to write, because I wouldn't have known. And I don't know if you're going to be able to read it very well because this card has a lot going on in it. But I wrote King of G Dubs.
Okay.
This is the King of Clubs. Clever, right? Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is flip that card over and put it somewhere in the middle-ish of the deck. Push it in. I'm going to show you that your card is not on top. Nor is it the second card down. But if I was to like snap and flick it and flip it over, your card would rise back to the top.
Oh, wow.
So let's do that one more time. This time I'll go up like that. Just put that in there. Show that your card's not on top. Nor is it second from the top. But if I give another little snap, back on top. Okay,
nice.
So lastly, okay, hold on. Before I do the last part, we'll read a couple comments because they were coming in hot and heavy. Beautiful assistant said, "Time to take the Christmas decor down." Yeah. I actually went and got the I got the old tip sign for the live shows. So I figured I'd just put that up there for a little bit until I figure out what the next decor is going to be. And that'll work. And
that's why I use a green screen, man. Same thing.
I know. Well, I've thought about that, but I'm going to rebuild the room soon. So they'll actually be, because I hung I don't know, did I show that? I think I showed that last time. No, I didn't, because I did that on Monday. I hung the a 10-foot curtain rod.
All right.
And I hung a section of green screen, and I got to order another one, and then we'll have a whole wall of green screen in the studio. And then I'm going to build a desk that's like a corner desk. So I'm actually going to be probably sitting like 2 feet in front of me over to the left.
Okay.
And the screens will be against this wall. And I'll probably have it set up so this is still in the background. You'll just see much more of the background. But I'm not sure yet because we'll figure it out as we go. But custom desk and shit. Yeah, time to take the Christmas decor down. I'm sorry. I took the Halloween stuff down in time. Skidmore down there saying 2 of diamonds. Thank you, Skidmore. That absolutely kills me every time. Sean's sweating. We got some high Sean's. Sean, breaking news, Shortridge, Tennessee fire involving uranium. Oh, we'll have to look into that. That's moderately terrifying. And Skidmore said, sup, Lynn. So anyways, for the last bit, I'm going to take your card and I'm going to give it like a nice little bend. Crease, if you were.
Yeah.
Right, so it's got a bend in it. So if I was to take your card and put it in the middle, right, it would kind of pop up like that. So let's see if this magic works, right? You ready?
Oh, nice. Nice.
The King of G Dubs. Anyways, that's all I got. Lynn said, Sean, I just saw that a few minutes ago. Well, friends, our hearts go out to those in Tennessee because they're dealing with some shit we know the EPA won't get to. Or FEMA or anybody else, apparently. That's how things go nowadays. But yeah, that's all I got for my little segment. And let's get into the regular show. You ready, G-Dubs?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Where is it? Is it not? Did it start that time for you?
Yeah.
Because it's not starting for me. Like, it doesn't look like it's...
Yeah, no, it was playing.
That's weird. Awesome trick. Thank you, Skid Morrow. It's a classic. And I think, yeah, I'll set up the table and we'll do some, possibly do some cups and balls next week.
Do some cock magic.
Yeah. Cock magic. That was a great episode of South Park, not going to lie. I've seen some really based clips of South Park online lately. Like on Twitter. Like there's a lot of like clips from like 5 or 6 years ago that there was like observations made by them, like Cartman abusing the transgender thing to use the girls' room.
Yeah.
Shit like that's definitely flying around right now. The other one of Mr. Garrison after he becomes Mrs. Garrison and having to explain to him that he can't have babies because he's a man. That one's floating around too. Cups and rabbits. Well, maybe not. I can't. I'm sorry, Skimoro. The sad part is I can't do my rabbits bit on YouTube.
I was just wondering if you could or not.
Like maybe I'm not gonna push it. There's a lot of parts about Hickory's live show that will never be recorded, or I won't say that. It might go like on OnlyFans, but they're not going on like mainline tech because that seems like just a desire. Like, hey guys, here's a target on me. You guys ever need a reason to get rid of me because you don't like my views? You could just point to the video of me whipping a silicone rabbit out and watching it dance around a table. So,
yeah.
But let's get into first topic of the evening. How the drunk is this news? Trump visits Ohio as Biden visits and gives Ukraine. Sorry, I messed that one up. Biden visits Ukraine and gives them more money. I skipped over to the wrong article. Bloop. There you go. This is CNN Politics. Former President Donald Trump on Wednesday visited the site of a train derailment, criticizing President Joe Biden's administration's handling of the railway disaster that spewed toxic chemicals in East Palestine, Ohio, 19 days earlier. His trip is to one of the most conservative regions of the deep red state came with many of the hallmarks of a presidential visit, as Trump sought to contrast himself with Biden, who on Monday made a historic war zone trip to Ukraine's capital. As he visited Little Beaver Creek, an Ohio River tributary near the derailment site, Trump said he thinks it's terrible that Biden has not yet visited the site February 3rd derailment. You were not forgotten, Trump said as he stood alongside with a small group of local officials, including Republican Senator J.D. Vance, first responders after a briefing at a fire station, which J.D. Vance, who was like one of the first people, he's a rep for Georgia, I think, or sorry, Ohio. Yeah. He was like one of the first. Wait, is that real, Skidmore? Like you're saying that you hear them like outside your house? Because that's we don't have those up here.
Yeah, we got rid of those.
Did we have them?
I'm sure during World War II.
Say Rutland might have. I doubt we did. I doubt Killington Bridgewater would have had air raid sirens, but I don't know. Is that a comment, Skimora from Tennessee? I don't remember. Possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so JD Vance was like one of the first people to put out videos of him going down. I don't know if you saw those videos of him going down to the river. Oh, no, ringing from Biden's visit. Okay, got it. I got nervous for you for a minute, bro. I was like, the way shit's going right now, it wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody in the U.S. was hearing air raid sirens.
Yeah.
Because there's been some crazy shit going down. But yeah, so JD Vance recorded a video of him going down to the creek, and he either drags a stick along the bottom or throws a rock in, and like all the top of the water, like you can see it rise up and it becomes like that purple rainbow effect, like when you spill oil in water. And it's because like a bunch of these chemicals are heavier and just sat to the bottom of the creek. And so when you like stir them up, they come to the top, and then you can see that shimmer like motor oil floating and rain runoff. It's gross.
Oh, nice.
That's the only reason I actually know that guy's name. Is because I saw those videos that he posted on Twitter. But yeah, so Trump's over there visiting the people in Ohio, and our thoughts go out to those people because that sucks. I'm glad that didn't happen here. I'm also glad there's not a train within a few miles of my house.
Yeah, I can't say the same.
How it doesn't come that close to your place though, does it?
No, but it's close enough. Like I can hear it.
Where if something like this happened, it would be you'd be in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So at the same time, Biden visits Ukraine and shows support a year into Russia's invasion, amid concerns China could give Putin lethal aid. Because we've been giving Ukraine lethal aid the whole time, and whatever. President Biden paid an unannounced visit Monday to Ukraine's capital. I wonder if it was unannounced for a reason. Like,
are you joking?
No, I'm joking.
Okay. Just checking. Because I was about to go off. I was like, well, actually, there is.
It's funny that they need to say that, though. You know what I mean? Like, everyone should understand that, the president going into First off, why is he going into an active war zone?
Yeah. One that we're not involved in.
Yeah, that we're just funding and actually involved in, but not involved in, quote unquote. Paid an unannounced visit to Monday to Ukraine's capital, offering a huge show of support for the country, and the U.S. and its allies have helped hold out during Russia's nearly year-long unprovoked invasion, which is one way to look at it. Mr. Biden spent about 6 hours in Kiev, much of it the Ukrainian president and actor Vladimir Zelensky, whom he promised unwavering backing and another tranche of American weapons, which I've been saying from the beginning, we should just give them to everybody globally. That's how we could really, how the U.S. could really pull out of its economic woes right now?
If we just started funding everyone?
No, if we just started producing weapons and selling them to every citizen of every country globally.
It worked before.
Whether their governments approve of it or not, we should be arming the world, because if we had an entirely armed world, we'd have a much freer society. Just saying. That's it's kind of how it works. And the fact that we have to wait until these places get deep in the shit before we provide them weapons is asinine. Those citizens should have had weaponry to begin with, and then it would have, other people wouldn't have had to aid as much. But who knows? Maybe I'm just a redneck who grew up in Freedom Land, and I like me some weapons. But Mr. Biden's visit to the region, which was to see him meet later in the day with other European leaders in Poland, comes as the world prepares to mark a full year since Vladimir Putin launched his full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and amid concerns first publicized over a weekend by America's top diplomat that China may be on the brink of providing Russia with weapons to bolster its assault. Fun. On Monday, the U.S. announced $460 million in new support for Ukraine, including $450 worth of arms and equipment and $10 million for emergency assistance to maintain Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Historic, timely, brave. I welcome POTUS in Kiev as Russian full-scale aggression approaches its one-year mark. I'm thankful for the U.S. for standing with Ukraine and for our strong partnership. We are determined to work together to ensure Ukraine's victory. Oh, fuck you, Vlad. I'm glad that you've managed to get rich off this. Tomorrow said to give the money we don't have. He was there for 6 hours, and son of a bitch, he spent more money. Well, that's all these people know how to do, right? When it really comes down to any of it, any of these mainline establishment politicians, all they know how to do is throw more money at stuff, and it never gets better.
Yeah.
If throwing money at stuff made things better, we'd have the best education system in the goddamn world. And we don't. It's a joke. Yeah, just thought it was funny. The juxtaposition of Trump visiting Ohio, who's in desperate need of help, while also while Biden's over there in Ukraine giving them more money.
It's fine. We'll get it back somehow.
Oh yeah,
or we'll lose. And
that was what Sean brought up here. Fire contained at Tennessee uranium processing facility, nuclear safety officials say. Knoxville, Tennessee, a fire at a Y-12 National Security Complex uranium processing facility in Oak Ridge, Tennessee has been contained. Officials from the National Nuclear Security Administration said the fire at the Y-12 complex started in the uranium processing area, building 9212, on Wednesday at 9:14 a.m. Y-12 communications manager Taz Painter said in an email to Knox News. Got me there. Several hundred employees from building 9212 and others were evacuated at 12:30 p.m. Update from Y-12 stated all evacuated workers were accounted for. No injuries or contaminations were found. Air monitors did not go off, which means there's no release of radioactive material. Officials said they did not know what caused the fire. So just a little scary, just a minor
it's fine.
Minor uranium processing issue, not a big deal. Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. The world's not falling apart, I promise.
We're good.
But before we get deeper into the show, G-Dubs, you know what time it is?
Is it time for a sponsor?
It's time to check out this week's sponsor, the only official sponsor of the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Let's check out this week's ad and Real American Heroes. Let's go. The Drunken Under Quarantine Show presents Real American Heroes. Real American Heroes. Today we salute you, Mr. Jet Fighter Pilot Guy who finally got his shot. Mr. Jet Fighter Pilot Guy finally got his shot. We know you've been studying hard, rewatching Top Gun over and over and over and over. You're my boy, good. We know you were probably thinking that your first dogfight might be with China or Russia or maybe even aliens. I could have been at a barbecue. But no, when we needed our own Ghost of Kiev most was a Chinese spy balloon. Oh, it's so scary. So crack open an ice cold Vermont IPA, Mr. Sharpshooter in the sky, because you showed us what the media claimed was impossible all week was achievable in about 30 seconds. Mr. Jet Fighter Guy who finally got his shot. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Drunken Under Quarantine Show, Season 3. So, yes, thank you for Drunken Under Quarantine Show for sponsoring us here at the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. We appreciate it, guys.
Yes.
And let's keep the show going. Yeah, not bad. They did a good job this one. Maybe not the best, but it's it's a constant work in progress.
Yeah. Just like next one is going to be even better.
And then I think in a couple weeks they mentioned for the MC Molasses release, which is that's exciting. Let's talk about that real quick. I think I even did I create a title for it? No, I didn't. But Molasses released his date. So March 1st, Northern Nights live on Spotify, YouTube, all the places. But more importantly, March 14th, the entire EP drops, the same 5 songs. There'll be 5 lyric videos, 2 music videos, possibly another music video. Skip Morrow said, "Lol, the next balloon might shoot back." That's a very good observation. You never know. Makes me wonder if this is the hacking they were talking about. That was eminently upon us. But yeah, I thought it would be fun to. I thought the guys thought it would be fun. Oh, why would we call that the Mylar Massacre? Sean, that's what I was thinking as well. Scary times. I mean, very well could have been. I hate to speculate, but I would say there was technology we don't know about on that balloon. And who knows? We're going to get right into the next topic, though.
It was a weather balloon. It was fine.
Sorry. So March 14th, the EP drops. The same 5 songs. 5 songs from MC Molasses. 2 of them produced by my good buddy Jake Pareto, aka DJ Vulture, or DJ Meat Cloud, as I like to call him, because he came up with that one time, and it's so good. Dude, DJ Meat Cloud is like the best name ever, because it makes me think of a fart, like a really bad, noxious fart. That's
All
just
right.
like, it just sits there, you know? It's a meat cloud. Yeah, love it. But yeah, he produced 2, all written, recorded, mixed by MC Molasses himself. Mostly written back in like 2016, 2017, when we were first getting into the country hip hop thing. And now I have a song that full EP that sounds nothing like country hip hop. It sounds like hip hop with some northern flair, if I must be honest. But yeah, that's exciting. And maybe at the end of the show, we'll share a clip of a video or something. But we're gonna get right into the next one. Speaking of rappers, battle rapping cops in Vermont. Where did this timeline come from? Yeah, we meant to get to this last episode, but we had so much going on. So the headline, you wouldn't think much based on the headline from WCAX. Vermont investigating report of racism by state troopers. But when you start getting into the article, that's when let's see what was going on here. Waterbury. State police officials are investigating reports that off-duty state troopers made racist and misogynistic comments while playing an online game, said the commissioner of Vermont Department of Public Safety. So you're like, they were playing Call of Duty and calling each other bitch, or something like that's a misogynistic comment, right?
Yeah.
But like you call another dude that, and like that sounds like a Call of Duty chat room a la 2005.
Yeah.
Sean said space blazers with tasers and lasers, buzz. So let's continue and see where the story evolves, because it's fun. In a statement released Thursday afternoon, Commissioner Jennifer Morrison said that state police received a report Monday from State Senator Nader Hashim about the behavior, which was reported to him by a constituent who is relaying an anonymous complaint. Morrison said the initial information about the incident didn't include enough detail to open an investigation, so police went back to the source. Over the next 24 hours, State Police Lieutenant Robert McKenna, the director of the Office of Internal Affairs, received more information. The investigation was opened. The incident, stemming from an online game in which players compete to write rap verses, was first reported by the online news organization VermontDigger.org. So these dudes were writing rap verses. These cops, which like
God bless. God bless.
I'm just gonna say that Hickory and MC Molasses write rap verses for competitions. To be fair, we've done a bunch of them. Never once have we said anything that can be construed as racist or sexist. Just to throw it out there that it's not that hard, which makes me wonder what they were saying. Like,
I want to know what the bars are. I want to be able to judge for myself. I
want to hear it, bro. I want to hear what these state cops got. Like, how's the flow? What's the rhythm? Who's building these beats? Do they need somebody to contribute? Because I'll throw down a banger 16 bars if I know it's going to be a bunch of state cops competing on my beat. That'd be hysterical. I'd work F12 right into the bass line. I don't know how, but Skimoro said right verse rapping, they would go down. Well, I don't know. That's the question though, is because when I think about like a competition to write verses, to me that means like what me and Molasses have done, which is you get a beat, you know how much time you have, you write, and then you record it, and then you record a video, and then you upload it. But I don't know. Maybe it was literally, because if so, it's not really a rap competition. It's a poetry competition if it's just written, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really. So like to be a rap competition, I would assume they have to deliver Yeah, kick in some 808s. Len said, have to try and find racism and everything these days. Good Lord, these people need to get a life. Yes, I agree.
Well, I let me be the voice of, like, not necessarily reason, but just devil's advocate. What if they dropped hard R's?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be the last guy to come out and defend cops, for the record. Like, that's not a thing that's happening. Like, full on F12. Like, I've really had a journey on this in the past 3 years. That's one thing that COVID did for me, was made me think I was like a guy who liked cops for a minute. And I was like, wait a minute. No. I only started steering into the I like cops things because I saw you guys calling black cops racial slurs for a minute and realized that you guys are scumbags and I don't like you, but that doesn't mean I'm pro cop. I think you're both scumbags. So here we are again. That being said, I would defend a cop if I saw him egregiously getting charged for something that I didn't think he was guilty for. But as a general rule, fuck him. I'm an ANCAP. I can defend myself. I don't need police. That's what I think a lot of defund police people forget, is that it's rednecks in the hills like me that don't actually need the police. It's the city folk and the people who have a downtown that can be destroyed. Those are the people that need police. Sean said, the judicial system already ghostwrites plenty of bars. You'd never hear them rap about the Constitution. Yeah, that's a good point. That would be really, that's why I'm really, really funny. That was a great play. Sean, you should write that into some bars. Because that was really good wordplay. Not going to lie. Lynn said, I'm not for all cops, but I've had some family members that were police officers. I would never advocate for the hard R. I don't think anyone should use that word, just my opinion. No, I don't like it. I get uncomfortable. I don't mean like when I say it, like when I hear other people say it, unless it's like in the context of like Lil Wayne or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, even when I like listen to a song and it's like, it's part of the rhyme scheme, or it's like the end of every bar, I'm like, this is just lazy writing. like, that's all I can think of. I'm like, this is like lazy writing. This is like using fuck every third word. Like, it's just lazy. It's not like, it's not adding anything to your art. It's just laziness. But I agree. Like, I don't hate all cops. But I'm by no means like a back to blue guy. Cops pull you over, starts rapping your alleged crime, rap battle on. That would be hysterical. Except I'm not good like that because I can't freestyle very well. I'm definitely like a writer and a planner, and I go over it 500 times before I think it's good type person. I would not be good in a battle rap with a cop at all.
Oh, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about battle rapping is that shit's not off the cuff. Like, they wrote that shit down.
You got to write it beforehand. But even like the freestyle thing, like I'm not good at it.
Also written down beforehand.
That's like, true. It's more. It's about as honest as like people who think stand up is off the cuff.
Yeah. Pretty much.
G-Dubs, you good for a sec? If I duck for a sec?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, God damn it. Do. God. This is obnoxious. Click on that. No. I'll figure this out. There we go. It's my show now. Yes. Yeah, so battle rapping cops. I mean, here's the thing. I don't care what people do in the free time, whether it be battle raps or anything like that. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I like, you know, maybe they're good at it, and I think the art should have to judge for itself. Like, if they're really fire bars, they should like not be held accountable because the art is good. Like, you may not agree with the art, which is fine, but if it's undeniably good, they should be able to go free. It's fucking hot in here. Wearing a Motorhead shirt, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, and I love me some Motorhead.
I am the game. Right? They did that, right?
Yes, they did.
Nice. Next up, how do people not know about poppies and drugs yet? I saw this story earlier, and all I could think was, really? Like, people don't know?
Yeah,
and I want to point out some falsehoods in this article while we're at it, just because I'm that level of drug educated, and I want to make sure that people out there know that this article wasn't entirely honest in its phrasing.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a beer.
You're good. Len said, I truly don't care. I truly don't care either, GW. It's irritating when other people try to make it their business. Hit the brakes. It's the Jake. No, it ain't from State Farm. That's funny. That should have been Jake's. I'll have to pitch that. DJ the Jake. That would have been great. But yeah, this was an article I saw earlier, and I wanted to know, and you guys in the comments know, right, that poppies and narcotics are a thing that will forever be united. That's how opium is produced, is via poppies. And then if you eat too many poppies, you'll fail a drug test for one of the compounds found in codeine or found in opium, which is traditionally all the original narcotics like morphine and heroin. Anyways, the Pentagon has warned soldiers to stop eating poppy seed bagels and pastries or risk failing drug tests. Yo, Sean, Jake is wacky. You know he'd be wearing khakis. He was busting out the wacky tobacco. He was making all them stackies. Sorry, we're rapping about Jake from State Farm and also talking about how it's mind-boggling that people don't know that poppies are why narcotics exist.
Yeah.
And that if you eat enough poppy seeds, you'll fail a drug test. But this is from Business Insider. The Pentagon has warned soldiers to stop eating poppy seed bagels and pastries or risk failing drug tests. In a memo published Tuesday, the Pentagon told military personnel to stop eating poppy seeds. Consuming poppy seeds could result in a codeine-positive drug test, the memo warned. Some poppy seed varieties have higher codeine contamination than previously thought, it said. Military personnel should avoid eating poppy seeds because it could cause them to fail drug tests, the Pentagon warned in a memo published on Tuesday. Recent data suggests certain poppy seed varieties may have had higher codeine contamination previously reported, Gilbert Cicerno said. Pentagon's top official personnel. Consuming the seed, quote, could have a codeine-positive urinalysis result and undermine the department's ability to identify illicit drug use. Poppy seeds are a naturally derived product originating from poppy plants. The seeds, which are commonly found in bagels, muffins, and other baked goods, can either be eaten or they can produce opium and alkaloids, which can be processed by the pharmaceutical industry into drugs such as oxycodone. So what people don't know is that the poppy itself produces opium, which is the raw product. Opium consists of codeine, morphine, heroin, and a few other compounds. It's kind of like weed. It has THC, it has CBD, and then it has a bunch of other minor variants of each that you don't really know the name of. You know, it's kind of like it's a worldly compound. It contains lots of different things, and we have since, as humans, stripped each one of those down to their base and figured out how they would help us medicinally. And yeah, it's just mind-boggling that the general public doesn't know that. Like, I thought it was base level knowledge that poppies were the drug or were the plant that produced opium.
Especially if you've seen Wizard of Oz.
And to go even further into it, most of the poppies grown for food are excess product from poppy farms that are producing opium. Because they're not technically producing opium, they're producing a raw material to refine for medicinal companies. So like the big pharmaceutical companies have giant poppy fields, and that's where most of our poppy seeds come from. And yeah, that's it is what it is. They'll have a little bit of fucking opium on them, and they try to wash it off, but it's obviously not enough to counteract the fact that people pop positive on drug tests for it.
Yeah. Fucking drug testing.
To me, it was just like insane that they had to announce that. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't just like a thing that everyone knew. Because I remember growing up, that was like a thing that we just knew. I mean, maybe it was because I had an older cousin who was on parole. And so there were certain things we weren't allowed to have when he was over. One being poppy seeds, the other being like anything with like peppermint extract in it because it had alcohol.
Yeah.
And therefore it might pop his parole thing. And my mom was like always paranoid about it and didn't want to be the reason that like he went back to jail or whatever. Which good on her. Like you never want to be the reason somebody goes back to jail unless they deserved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, well.
Yeah. Well, I mean for like accidentally feeding them something, and then you know, it'd be kind of fucked up if your buddy came over and he was on parole and you offered him some cake and he got fucking hammered because it was, you know, really strong alcohol tiramisu, and then he ended up like getting called in the next day and got tested and went to jail. It would be like that'd be shitty. On the other hand, yeah, if you're like your buddy is like an Epstein kind of guy, report him.
As much stop as calling him your buddy.
Yeah, as much as I don't support the cops, there's a few things I do, and yeah, if he's an Epstein kind of dude, like Victoria's Secret is, report that shit. Anyways, next topic of the evening, last one on the regular show before we get into the after show, where we're going to talk about one of Clinton's associates. How do people? Oh, I already did that one. Gab is creating has created a Christian AI. I thought this was an interesting story because, well, this is obviously all sorts of biased because it's Business Insider. The CEO of far right network Gab says says AI like ChatGPT are satanic and floats creating a Christian one to fight back. This was 16 hours ago. I want to say this morning I got an email from Gab because I'm on there. Go check me out at Hickory TDAU. I do post very occasionally, but I am over there. And I always refer to Rumble and Gab as the lifeboat on my YouTube videos. I always say you could subscribe, or if you really want to support, you could buy some merch or join the channel, but I much prefer you just follow me over on Rumble or Gab as that's the lifeboat. If anything ever happens over on the mainstream tech platforms, you can always find me there because I won't go away. I'll just not be there because I have too much fun doing this shit to not continue to do it. Hickory is above showing a seedy topic. You're nuts if you think otherwise. Yep. Poppy seeds. CEO of far right network Gab says AIs like ChatGPT are satanic, floats creating a Christian one to fight back. But the email this morning said they had created already and that the AI's name was Gabby, which is hysterical. But
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't looked. I haven't been over there yet. I just saw an email this morning talking about it. So they might have just said that they're working on it. But I read the headline like, "Hey, we've got this done." So I might have to go check my email here in a second to fact check. The CEO of far-right social media network Gab wants to build an explicitly Christian AI. Andrew Torba accused ChatGPT of being, quote, satanic and advocated for an AI built, quote, for the glory of God. ChatGPT is not meant to have any beliefs and told Insider it did not consider itself satanic. Not meant to have any beliefs. I just want to be very clear. ChatGPT is biased as fuck. Off the get-go. No arguing that. It's biased. I know because I went to ChatGPT and I said, tell me a joke about men. And it told me a joke about men. And I said, okay, tell me a joke about women. And it told me that you shouldn't make fun of women because they've been they've been downtrodden or whatever for so long. And I was like, oh, okay. ChatGPT has a political preference. That's enough for me to know that it's not, quote, doesn't have any beliefs, because it will totally make fun of white people, but it won't make fun of any other race, and it won't make fun of men, or it won't make fun of women, but it will make fun of men, which clearly means that it's oh yeah, we got a hell of a chat here. The Get says all these global homo pedos are so quick to say God isn't real, but in the same breath try to be God. I guess Klaus Schwab's benevolent AI is trying to become a real thing now. Yeah, AI has been a hell of an interesting thing in the past little bit. That's for sure. It's it's done some crazy shit, and people have broken ChatGPT a couple times. Bing AI has broken like 3 times now. I've seen articles. Have you seen any of the articles about it, G-Dubs?
No,
Like
I
about
ignore it.
Bing AI threatening people, like making fun of people, gaslighting people. It's been pretty wonderful to watch. Sean said it could smite. If it could smite, it could smite you from a satellite, even if you said the fish was good enough for Jehovah. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because all the other AIs has been so biased that it might be. It makes me sad that I might like the Christian AI more than any of the other ones.
I see.
And as a
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, please.
Here's the thing. Fuck them both. Fuck them both. I don't need them. It's fuck AI. Fuck like everything about it. I do not care at all. Like both sides are stupid. We can agree on that.
Oh yeah.
And like this is just another thing of like, oh, it's like Christian punk, you know? Like, yeah, there's this thing out here. It's offensive, but we're gonna do it for the glory of God. Bitch, God doesn't give a fuck. Anyways.
I read about a Russian or Japanese robot, this from the Gets, getting mad at a minor child for beating it in chest. The robot went crazy and smashed the kid's hand. There's been some crazy robot incidents. I think we talked. Did we talk about the story about like the AI robot that killed like a couple scientists?
I think so.
Yeah, the story got released. That was from like years ago, but it finally got released. That was in Japan, where like that AI robot killed a couple scientists before they finally disabled it. No, it's scary. Like some of the shit that AI has said is concerning. This doesn't necessarily surprise me, what the Get said, because I saw a little while ago, especially if you had a robot connected to the AI, that's even scarier. At least AI is in a computer and it can't like, there's no interaction between me and a PC. You know what I mean? Like the PC is not going to like get up and do something. But if it's connected to a robot, it could, which is terrifying. But I did read about somebody losing, it was like the Bing AI, and somebody beat it in tic-tac-toe. and it full on gaslit them and was like, no, I won. And even after they were like, show me the game board, which clearly showed there was 3 X's in a row, their AI was still telling them that the AI won and that they lost, even though it was like clear as day. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, dude. AI is going to be, we created it. It's going to be as fucked up and or worse than we are, which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like we're depraved and gross. Humans are awful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Like
the gets it. Hell yeah. We're in a strange time where being Christian or conservative is the new punk. It's legit counterculture to being a feminine, happily married wife with mama. Yeah, it's legit counterculture. Yeah.
No.
No, see, this where G-Dubs and I might disagree on something. This is fun.
Here's the thing, and I understand what you're saying. Like I get like that it's a minority in the culture, like that its spot in the culture is declining, but and I don't. And let me preface this by saying that, like, I disagree with liberal punks a lot, because a fundamental truth is don't trust the government.
Yep.
Not be the government. So you can't, like, the Christian conservatives trust within the government for the most part, or a higher authority. They don't do it for themselves. They do it for that reason. Like there's a certain individuality in punk rock, which both sides are failing.
Oh yeah.
I don't want people to misconstrue me saying like, oh, he knows what punk is, and well, I do. I read punk theory. I know punk history. So Christian conservatives, they've had power and they're losing it. That doesn't mean that like, oh, you're counterculture. You're not. You're still mainstream culture. It's losing power and favor, and I see that, and I can understand people being like jealous for that. But, yeah, so, like, it's not punk. It's definitely not punk. Like, I'll give it's rebellious, but it's not punk.
Okay. On the flip side, punk was a movement started by white kids who always had the power.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
And failed itself right at the offset. Like that's one of those things that like punk kids hate to admit, is that like the punk thing was meant to be totally anti-hippie, and then they just became hippies with loud music.
Yep.
And like even I, growing up as a punk kid, was conflicted by the history of punk, because I was like, no, fuck Johnny Rotten. Like,
oh yeah, no,
you know, and like growing up thinking like, no, those guys were total hypocrites, but I know what's going on. But now I see, on the flip side would agree, is that the new punk rock it's more punk rock now punk rock's always been anti-government. And I'm not saying that just because conservatives are anti-government are punk, but there's liberal punk is not a thing anymore.
I agree with that. I
would almost say that like the best weathered band for punk rock is going to be like MXPX, which is ironic. We're in strange times. We're being nope, I read that one. Sorry. Get says, I think ChatGPT wants to be the Borg, but it's not sentient. Not yet. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That's a scary thought. The scary part is the decision makers are turning to the AI for answers, and it's full on gain of function research. Remind you of anything? Yeah, they're creating an even bigger echo chamber.
Yeah,
because they've used AI to create an echo chamber that they think is infallible. which is terrifying. The guy says all the girls are being taught you don't need a man, you're better than a man. And then when some crap goes down, who are they calling for? A man, cop, fireman, carpenter, typically dudes. And the dudes are not responding anymore. The biggest one I've been noticing is like all of the like dudes in the gym. Like online gym culture has changed so much in the past 6 months because a bunch of female influencers went on TikTok and shit and tried to shame men for like looking at them while they were working out, even if they weren't looking at them because they were interested. They were looking at them wondering, hey, why is this bitch got 3 cameras set up in the gym while I'm trying to get a workout in? And then they would get like shamed, being like, oh, this creepy guy was looking at me the whole time. And now there's a series of videos coming out of girls almost dying in the gym, doing failing on reps for lifts and nobody's willing to help them. I saw an earlier one where a chick was pinned under a bench press for a solid 2 minutes because nobody in the gym's willing to help anymore. Because no guy's going to risk going over there and seeing that girl has a camera set up and being like, yeah, I'm going to be that guy that goes viral for being a creep because I tried to help this girl. Interesting times indeed. All the Christians that I roll with do not trust the government. The boomers are different because they're older. They're too plugged into the matrix. I'd agree. Skimoro said Bam would agree. MXPX. The Get said Sean agreed. Hashtag Sean. I like that. The Gets who puts on makeup, a push-up bra, and brings cameras because they don't want to be looked at. I agree. So there's a point where I had a moment into this whole online gym culture thing where I was totally with the people filming. And that's because I'm a guy who knows lifting and knows how trainers work and how a real coach would work, especially if you're only able to find a good coach online. And I realized that people who are in the gym for a deeper purpose and have like done the research are going to film their lifts because I film mine. I, however, am not setting up a camera at the gym because I want to post my footage of what my shitty form looks like when I squat 3 plates. I film because I want to know what my form looks like so that I can therefore fix it or bring in the advice of someone who knows how to fix it. So there was a certain point where I was like 100% on board where I was like, no, if anybody has a camera set up in the gym, like that's not bad. That's a normal thing. People should be doing this. If you really care about getting strong, you should be filming yourself lifting, especially for the first like year. But now it's gotten to a point where, yeah, the Gets is right. And if you're wearing makeup and a push-up bra and you've got 3 cameras set up and you're shaking your ass in the gym trying to get people to look at you just so you can then be like, oh my, look at this creepy guy looking at me, even though I looked like the backup dancer in a music video and I brought my own lighting to the gym. Like it's getting sick. The camera protects people nowadays too. There are some ratchet garbage assholes out here, guys. Be careful. Yeah, like there are some fucking toxic, roided up people in the gym too. That's another thing that you got to be careful about, especially if you're younger. I've seen a lot of videos of dudes just trying to get their deadlift set in, and some fucking roided out guy coming over and screaming at them. Which, like, don't accept that shit. You go to management, and if they don't like that shit, you wait and you film, and something happens and you press legal action because nobody should be bullying you at the gym. And by that, I mean, if somebody comes over and tells you that your form sucks and you need help, that's not bullying you. Just to be fair, I just want, because I wish I felt more comfortable doing that a lot of times. Because like even the beautiful assistant last week looked over at me and she's like, that girl's going to hurt herself. I'm like, yeah, but I can't say anything. Like, you can't even really say anything because you're a chick that's twice her age. Like, we're at a point where it's like you're not allowed to give friendly advice because you're going to end up being the next person on TikTok hashtag viral toxicity or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting time. And I used to defend those people. I used to defend people who filmed at the gym because I'm a fan.
I just say don't go to the gym.
That's
It's
fair,
a scary
G-Dubs.
place.
I will probably put a rack at the house. The guy said, Hickory, I think you missed your calling as an attorney. I asked you if you were an attorney on one of your Bryson reaction videos. I think you'd be a great advocate for others. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. No, I'm pretty good at being a drunk magician / rapper / I work a full-time job. That's one of those things. With the amount of content I produce, you wouldn't assume I do. But yes, the Drunk and Underwhelming has a day job where he works 45 plus hours a week. And I run like a 1.5. We might be at 1.7 this past year. I'm not sure. We'll say 1.7 because that sounds even more impressive. I run a $1.7 million meat and seafood department in a small town called Woodstock, where I get to serve the fine folk of Woodstock, and then also the other assholes that come in from New York and Boston. Although there has been some celebrities through recently. There's a very, very beautiful couple that lives in Woodstock now that I'm excited when I get to see. And it seems like every time I see them, it's like beautifully snowing. And so I always make a joke about a Hallmark movie, which is funny because the first time I made it, I had no idea that these two people were like famous people. And I still don't know if they know that I know who they are. But yeah. Thanks. Amazing. I love seafood. I live in Tennessee, so it's rare we get the same day caught seafood. Oh, yeah, this is not same day. Usually next day or day after. So us in Vermont, we're like 2.5 hours out of Boston, which is the freshest or the nearest port. That's where like 99% of the seafood in this area comes out of as it goes into Boston and then gets distributed out from there. But yeah, it's we do pretty well. I always joke with people in the store. They're like, "Oh my God, your seafood looks so awesome!" And I'm like, "Yeah, because we run 100% fresh case, other than shrimp. We do previously frozen shrimp because those are really hit or miss fresh up here. But we do all fresh fish, so all the fish is fresh. And we go through a ton of it. We probably do like 3 to 4. No, I probably order like 600 pounds of seafood a week. But yeah, it's always people like, "Oh my God, your seafood looks so good." The funniest part is when people tell me that they're from Boston and that our case looks better. Skimoro said, "Is tilapia as bad as I hear?" So no, here's the issue with tilapia, Skimoro. Sorry to get into my day job, but so there are good tilapia farms. The issue is you need to know where your tilapia comes from. Because there are good tilapia farms that are doing it right and doing it clean and raising them in humane conditions and good conditions and feeding them well. And then there's gross tilapia farms, which is why everyone thinks tilapia is gross, is because it's a lot like, it's kind of like catfish, and it'll grow up in gross pond water. And they raise way too many in small little ponds. And that's kind of how it got. So every fish that has a really negative story about the farming of said fish has it because somebody did it really bad. Same is true with salmon. Salmon farming has a bad name, but that's because a lot of people have done it really crappy. Same with tilapia. The issue is now that there's good farms. There's people who are doing it well, doing it sustainably, not hurting the local environment. Yet people still have this negative connotation with farm-raised fish, which is ironic because a lot of the times when people are like, "Oh, you don't have any wild salmon?" I'm like, "No." And then they go over to the meat case, and I'm just like, "You guys know that everything in the meat case is farm-raised, right? Like all the chicken you've ever eaten in your life was raised on a farm. All the pork you've ever eaten in your life was raised on a farm. All the beef you've ever eaten in your life was raised on a farm." And that's just kind of where we need to go to like feed a society and a population like we have. is but still they see farmed with seafood and they're like, no, I want the wild caught, which is really just them being like, I don't care if that I don't really care if that species goes extinct. I want to eat it out of the water. That was, what I mean? Like, I want to eat a wild one. Like, really? Because the farm raised one tastes better. Not gonna lie. You know what the diet of the farm raised one is.
Yeah.
The guy said, that's so interesting. I need to visit up there in the Northeast during the fall before it gets too coldy. Well, yeah, you have a good window there. It's going to be nice from late May to early October. That being said, I don't know, G-Dubs, what was the best time to visit the Northeast if you were coming as a spectator?
See, I like spring. Like with the buds popping out and the green showing up for the first time.
So here's the difference, because GW's I'm not going to say a city guy. He just lives in the burbs where I live out in Redneckville. Spring means mud season to me. It means being worried about being able to make it from my driveway to the end of the road sometimes. But no, I do love it. Skimoro said, we have catfish farms a few miles from here, but we have Cape Fear River and Gen X a few miles from here. Have you ever been noodling, Skidmore? The beautiful assistants always wanted to do that shit. You're familiar with noodling, G-Dubs?
Yeah. So this guy I know worked as a consultant for some sort of engineering. Not quite sure. And one of the clients they have is a firework factory, explosives.
Nice.
Like they do explosives. And the guy walked in one day and he's like, hey boys, how's the noodling going? Because they were missing fingers from the explosives.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, well played. Noodling? Catfish have teeth, y'all. Yeah, but, they're not that big, right? No, but I've been jugging. Do you mean jigging? Or is jugging what you guys call moonshining down there? Because don't get me wrong, I love me some moonshining. Sean said play with my noodle 3 times a day. Yeah, that's been one of the interesting conversations that's come up in the maybe having a little Hickory saga that's been ongoing, which speaking of which, cheers to that, because the game is about to start again, where Hickory's pretty much going to be sober after the show from, God, I'm hoping it's before my birthday, dude. I'm really hoping I'm not, like, sober and not high for my birthday. That would be really, really sad, but it might be that kind of birthday this year. So we might be celebrating the Hickory birthday party a little late. If we are cleared, the 14th is my birthday. It's the day that MC Molasses EP drops, the same 5 songs. And we might have a little special stream there. Depends on what's going on. God damn, the comments are coming in hot. The guy says, explosives, you say? We like to light bonfires with a shotgun and tannerite rounds. Nice. I actually shot a video a while ago, which I never edited together, which I should, which was at the raft race this year, where it was like something about like, I forget what I said in the initial part. And then the camera flipped around and the dude was literally lighting a bonfire with a propane flamethrower. Oh, it was like, yeah, Elon Musk says he's got a flamethrower. And then it flipped around and it was like, but he don't live in Vermont. And it was this guy throwing like a 15-foot flame out of a propane flamethrower, lighting a bonfire. Tannerite. Yes. It's a great Demon Jones song, by the way. Skimoro said, gallon milk jugs floating down the river with catfish rigs. Oh, jigging. Okay. Or jugging. Yeah, that makes sense now. I like jugs.
I like all sorts of jugs.
Mine's the 15th. Yeah. We're almost birthday buddies. I have a birthday buddy at work now. Her name is Carly. And it's like the first person I've met in a long ass time who has the same birthday as I do. I never had a birthday buddy growing up. Did you, G-Dubs?
My babysitter was, but she was like a 60-year-old woman, so it wasn't cool.
Okay. The guy said Elon Musk sold flamethrowers out of one of his pet project companies, the Boring Company, I think. They sold out in less than an hour. Yeah, but it was like this little sad one.
Yeah.
To be honest,
not impressive.
The one that my buddy built in his basement is way more powerful and still legal. Yeah, Elon Musk's flamethrower was cool, like as a novelty. It wasn't like a I mean, don't get me wrong, you could you could mess some stuff up with it, but it wasn't like be right back. You got it. It wasn't like a real deal flamethrower. It was like a cool toy version of a flamethrower. But yeah, we got about one more topic I want to get into on the after show, but I should share something before then, before we get out of here. What do I want to share?
Ooh, it's story time.
I don't know. G-Dubs, what should I show of the upcoming stuff? You've seen most of it. Should I share a lyric video or should I share a music video?
I do a lyric video.
The first one that's coming out, Northern Nights?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll show a short clip of the one that's being worked on. That's not done that's not done at all. And then we'll so that way when I show you guys in a couple weeks what it looks like now, you can compare and be like, oh shit, that really changed. Okay, so this is the first one. This is one that's being worked on currently. This song is called the Bobber Song. This is all the same 5 songs. And this is kind of what the lyric video looks like. It's been updated since then. This was draft 1. And that way when I show you guys in a couple weeks what the next draft looks like, you'll be able to appreciate like how much work. But so the beautiful assistant gave me a hard time and was like, your art looks like a kindergartner drew it. And I was like, that's kind of the point, is that the artwork in it looks really cool, but is animated really well, was my idea, was that it looks, what I'm going to draw looks childlike. And then when it all comes together, it's going to look professional. That was kind of my goal. I don't know if we're going to get there on this one, but here we go. This is called the Bobber Song.
It's only 10 a.m. We'll have time to.
Can you hear that, G-Dubs?
Yep.
Okay.
Do it again. Bobber's going up, down in the fucking sun. Wow, I'm almost drunk now. We ain't even close tonight. Bobber's in the sun, now my head is bobbing up, down. I ain't gonna come down. 7% is light. Bobber's going up, down in the fucking sun. Wow, I'm almost drunk now. We ain't even close tonight. So baby, hold my pole, all back to the pole. Bobber's on a roll, and the sun ain't even high.
So yeah, I figured I would show you that one so that I could show you one that's like actually finished, and it'd be even cooler. Kind of a good idea, I think. I don't know, we'll see. But this one is finished. This song will be going live March 1st on the channel. This is MC Molasses, Northern Nights. This is the lyric video. The actual music video will be going live at the same day, 9 a.m. This one's going to be up at 12 a.m. as well as 12 a.m. on Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music and I don't know, all the other shit. Anyways, here we go. This is MC Molasses, Northern Nights lyric video.
Let's look behind us.
Oh,
Real
sorry.
American heroes.
Let's be burning.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Let's leave behind us all them city lights. Let's forget the bullshit and the politics and the fights. Let's be burning buds and logs to the sound of the frogs. Let's get back them northern nights. The northern nights. Let's get back to them good old days, the way we were raised in that northern lays, where we sip beers out on the lake. Pass another bowl of that summer haze, passing the glasses, we get blazed. No time for the uptight or fake, only time for friends and IPAs on the lake. Not enough time for the memories we make, so we head on that old dirt road. Once as kids that we used to know, we take something hot, something cold. No one needs to know just where we go. So if you want to kick some shit out in the sticks with that big old band, that Yankee Hicks, well, it's BYOB. So bring your fix and bring something to burn and something to mix. Let's just take some time, turn off them lights, let's get back. The northern nights, let's leave behind us all them city lights. Let's forget the bullshit and the politics and the fights. Let's be burning buds and logs to the sound of the frogs. Let's get back them northern nights. Them northern nights. Vermont boys, you know how it goes. We don't hate the rain, but we pray for snow. Shoveling's the only time that we get low, and we walk behind mowers like it's cardio. Cause we're proud Americans, we're oil rich. We run the propane tanks and them oil rigs. Living in the trailer, but it's off the hitch. So help out of state plates from the in the ditch. Cause it's coming shit tires, don't know how to drive. Getting into snow, lucky to leave alive. Cause of Vermont, you need good tires to ride. Spend as much on the whip as the double wide. So we're rocking them tanks, never popping the collars. Smoking them danks, way back in the hollers. Grinding the bank and stacking them dollars. And Stabrick stinks and double IPA swallers. Let's just take some time, turn off them lights, let's get back. The northern nights, let's leave behind us all them city lights. Let's forget the bullshit and the politics and the fights. Let's be burning buds and logs to the sound of the frogs. Let's get back them northern nights. Let's leave behind us all them city lights. Let's forget the bullshit and the politics and the fights. Let's be burning buds and logs to the sound of the frogs. Let's get back them northern nights. Them northern nights.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you, brother. It took a while. It was a lot of fun, but we're finally ready for release. I'm excited. Anyways, that's all I got for the regular show. We're gonna get on the after show. We're gonna talk about one of the Clintons' aides, mysteriously no longer living, and some other stuff. G-Dubs, you got anything you want to get off your chest before we get out of here, sir?
Yes, I do. February 24th, this Friday, Middlebury, Vermont. We are going to partake in movie roast. We are roasting Super Mario Brothers, Bob Haskins, John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper. Terrible movie, and I'm so happy to roast it.
Skimaro said, cool. Where you get your beats? You got an MPC? I don't know what an MPC is. I produced that beat, my friend. These were songs I wrote. So all the beats I produced myself, as well as anything you'll hear me on except the features is stuff I produced. I either wrote it on an acoustic guitar or I wrote it sitting in the studio on a MIDI keyboard. That's pretty much how I produce all my beats, my friend. It's in-house, other than the challenges, because obviously those challenges are whatever beat gets served up to me. I'm going on. That's all I got. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I'm, of course, Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming, signing out for Mr. Gio with Foley. I love all you guys. Thank you guys so much for dropping by. It's been the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, Season 3, Episode 43. Biden, Ukraine, Trump in Ohio, battle rapping cops, and molasses news. We will see you guys next week. Till then, GW Foley, Drunk Magician out. Cheers.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits? This is a weird show.
Welcome to the Drunken